So I'm pretty excited today, and I've got a lot of reasons to be excited. One of them, the biggest reason, is I got some trays. Now these are extremely shallow trays. They're about 3/4 of an inch. I'm not sure if they were supposed to be exactly an inch or what they were, but I didn't measure them. See if I can show that to you. They're super sturdy. Really, they're about 3 to 4 times thicker, guessing, than the trays I normally use. But what I really wanted them for was that they're shallow. So the great thing about shallow trays is that you can use the same amount of soil I usually use, because normally I fill my tray only about halfway. I put about 3/4 of an inch to an inch of soil in my trays. And but with a shallow tray, when you do that, it brings the soil level flush to the top of the tray. And so when you're harvesting, it's way easier because you don't have to, dig down in no matter what you're using, whether you're using a knife or scissors or shears or whatever. With a shallow tray, you can just go straight across the top. You don't have to go down in and make a kind of a groove. I usually go across one way and then come in. And that won't be the case with shallow trays. So that's not why I'm most excited about these trays, though. The thing that really is exciting is how I acquired them. So these trays were sent to me from my buddy Pepe down in Australia, and he sent me 16 trays in all. These are trays he had made for him, and he sent them to me as a gift, just because Pepe is freaking awesome. And thanks, buddy. And he sent me enough for me to keep 5 with holes and 5 without holes for me to play around with. And he sent me 6 other trays, 3 with holes, 3 without holes, for me to use in a giveaway, because he knows I'm doing Patreon giveaways, and he thought he'd help me out, which is another big bonus. So definitely go check out Pepe's channel. He didn't ask for anything in return for this. He was totally doing it just a gift. You can't even buy these in the United States from him because it doesn't make any sense for shipping. I'm not even positive he's selling them in Australia, but he might be. He didn't really clear that up with me. But yeah, anyways, I'll put the link to Pepe's channel in my description. Please go over there. Watch some of his videos. If you like what you see, and I know you will, then give him a like and give him a subscribe, because Pepe's a great guy. So let's get on with the trays. So I've got, like I said, I've got 5 with holes that I'm going to keep for me. Separate those out. Three with holes that are going to go in a giveaway. Those will be part of a larger grow kit package I'm going to be putting together for the January giveaway. And then 3 without holes. These things are heavy. A lot heavier than the ones that are full size. So now I've got 5 that I'm keeping of each. Let me just set these aside for now. All right, let me get a couple of these stacked up. I can already tell I'm gonna really like these. So I've got room on my little bench here to do 3 trays to start with. A little bit off topic, but another thing that I'm pretty excited about that most of you won't, because a lot of you are haters. But I was Christmas shopping for my wife today, and I happened to notice these super sweet Patriot slippers in Kohl's. And whenever I Christmas shop for other people, I tend to shop for me. And I actually had to send my wife a text message and ask her if I could buy them, because she might have already bought them. And she didn't text me back until I was all the way at the register, and then she was like, yeah, you should buy them, they're awesome. And I was like, sweet. But then that got me thinking, like, I could just kind of go around in stores and just take pictures of various items and just ask her if I can buy that, and then I would know what I was getting for Christmas, but I don't really want to know. So anyways, that was off topic. I'm going to see how many scoops it takes to fill these up. I have a feeling it's going to take 3 scoops of Tony the Tiger Frosted Flakes bowls. We'll see. I do them fairly even. That's what I've been doing all along in my full-size trays. Before I go and put that in all of them, let's make sure it's not too much. Well, I'd have to say 3 scoops is still the way to go. Perfect amount of soil in that tray. Right flush to the top, pretty much. Give me a little bit of room to be able to set the next tray up on it. I'm just going to fill these next 2 trays up. One other cool little thing I want to show you, it's cool for me, is Pepe had wrote this on the box. And it says, if you see this, thank you for being a great friend. Big good day from Australia, mate. So, to me, that's awesome. When I started this channel and started doing this whole experiment of microgreens, I never in a million years imagined I'd make a good friend in Australia from doing that. And I have. Pepe's been following me since I've had a few hundred subscribers, and for some reason, he just really loved my content, and we communicate a lot in email and back and forth, and just, we talk like friends would talk, even though we've never met each other in person. But so I'm holding on to that cardboard. Little memento to go with the trays. I'm going to go water these trays in. So I'm going to seed these with seeds I normally use. These are Rambo radish, which are a nice purple radish. I'm going to do 3 tablespoons. I'm going to use my fancy spreader. You can find spreaders like this in grocery stores, department stores. They have them mislabeled as a tablespoon, but they're actually seed spreaders. I get all my seed from True Leaf Market, and I am about to place a fairly large order right after this video. I'm going to buy a bunch of the wood fiber grow mats. I just used the hemp mats, and I was really happy with those. And I wasn't even aware, and one of you told me that the wood fiber mats, if I bought them by 200 of them at a time, the price is only $1.20 each, which is getting really close to the price of soil. And so I think I'm going to give those a shot. I'm going to buy 200 of those after this video, and those will probably, if I like them, will actually go with those trays in the kit for the giveaway I'm going to do. But definitely, you know, if you want to try out True Leaf Market, I have a link in the description. I'm an affiliate for them. I've been promoting them for a long time because that's who I use and I like. Yeah, so I mean, if you use my link, I get a kickback for that. If you don't want to use my link, just go straight there or go to a different company. So this is Cauliflower Snowball. I'm going to do just 1 tablespoon of this. I really liked this. I haven't grown it much. I got this in the hydroponic grow kit that I got from True Leaf. I was testing out, and I was really happy with the crop. It's just not something that people ask for because it's, I guess, sort of bland would be the right word. It's not colorful. It's you know, just green leaves with a white stem, but the leaves do have a unique kind of shape to them. And I really like them. So what I sometimes do is I'll use them in a mix, or just on their own. All right, so I did just 1 tablespoon. I could have went heavier, but I like to give stuff room to grow. Speaking of which, that's another benefit to the shallow trays. Like I was saying, is you can harvest them clean because it's all the way up to the top. But the other major benefit is airflow. The air can come right across the soil in between all the microgreens, where if you have a deep tray and you only fill it halfway, it's really hard to get airflow to go down in there. That's how you get dampen off. It's when you don't have good airflow. It's one of the ways. My other one I'm going to do is cabbage. This is Golden Acre. It's also one I got in that kit that I don't normally do. But I was really happy with it. It came out great. But again, it's not colorful. And for me, people really like a lot of color in their microgreens. So I have a ton of microgreens that are not very colorful. So if it's not going to be colorful, then it better be really flavorful, or it's really not going to be a big seller. But I liked it anyways. This is a nice crop, I think. So I'm going to do 1.5 tablespoons of this. Actually, I'm going to go about more like 1.25. So I've got my water bottle here. I'm just going to give everything a light mist just to make sure everything's nice and wet before I stack it. All right, I'm going to stack these up with the radish on the bottom. Radish are really resilient to stacking. It doesn't hurt them to have a lot of weight on them for about 3 days. So the radish on the bottom. Then I've got my my cauliflower, then my cabbage. And I'll lose track of what those are for a couple days until the cauliflower and cabbage are a little bit bigger, and then I'll be able to determine which ones they are. I don't mark anything because I have enough experience with it where I can look at it and tell you what it is. All right, so I'm going to set these aside for now, and then I'm going to do 2 more trays. One that's going to be top of these, and the other one will be the last cap tray. So I had mentioned I've been doing the giveaways, and the last giveaway, I gave away 2 really nice LED grow lights, and this month for the giveaway, I'm giving away this Active Grow, 40 watt LED grow light. I use one of these. I've been using it for about a year, and it works awesome. And so this will be going away to one of my Patreons. So if you want to become a Patreon and get in on the giveaways, go to the link in the description and become a Patreon, and you'll be entered in. One thing I want to mention real quick is that if you do, I do the giveaway on the 1st of the month, every month, and you need to get in by noon on that day to be in, because I had somebody who noticed they weren't on the list even though they had become a Patreon, but they became a Patreon late in the day on the day I was doing the giveaway, and I can't record the video, do the giveaway, show that on the day I'm doing the giveaway, and still accept somebody who comes in late. So I just want to clarify that real quick, that you have to be in by noon. So that was the 40 watt single light. These are the lights that are new, and these are 2 separate lights that are tied together here. You can power them individually, but these are Active Grow LEDs. They are 24 watts each, but the idea of having them being separate is you can get better light coverage and not have your microgreens growing straight up in the middle. And I've seen that in the past where I've had my microgreens do better in the middle, directly under the light, than on the sides. So this is a new product. I'll put the link in the description if you want to check them out. I've got some spicy mustard growing here, some fennel, some mix, and some of my radish. All right, so let's do these 2 more trays. This tray here, I'm only going to do 2.5 scoops of Frosted Flakes. I'm going to be doing Bull's Blood Beets in this tray, which is a crop I have mixed results with, but I have started to nail down a process that works pretty good. I am tweaking it a little bit this time around though, so hopefully I don't mess it up. I'm going to add some water. All right, my Bull's Blood Beets. I don't weigh these, but I have weighed them in the past to see what it took. I don't remember what that was, but I spread them around to the amount that I think is right. So just going to take it by a handful, just kind of spread them around. I found I do better if I don't try to go too heavy with them. You want to give them a little bit of room. Just kind of adding a little bit at a time, trying to fill some little holes I see in there. Now for the reason that I only did 2.5 scoops of the Frosted Flakes is that I'm going to add half a scoop to the top of this. So you can see I weighed that perfectly, measured the scoop perfectly, half a scoop exactly, no less, no more. And this is just to have something touching the seed. It's not, the way I've been doing it, it's not really to completely cover them. And I've tried it doing a similar thing with vermiculite, and I've had mixed results with, I think sometimes the vermiculite will hold moisture right on the seed or at the base of the plant, and that seems to cause dampen off. I've also tried methods where I put a heavy amount of soil on top, something like, say, 1/2 inch to 3/8 of an inch, 1/4 of an inch. And the problem I always have with that is that all the microgreen or all the beets pick up that soil in like one shelf, and then that's got to go somewhere. And it usually, like, I can try to break it up a little bit, and it ends up crushing half of them. And after it crushes half of them, those will start to like ruin the rest of the crop, kind of causing like a dampen off chain reaction. And so what I found is to just do a little bit so that it can't really clump up. It can't really become a shelf. Like the way I did it here, I can still see right through it and see a lot of the seeds in here. What I had been doing, this is the tweak I'm doing this time around, is I was taking it just like this and then just putting a dome on it, blackout dome, and leaving it like that until I felt like they were all pretty well germinated and looked great, and then I would uncover them and put them directly into light. The thing I'm going to be doing differently here is I'm going to leave these stacked for 3 to 4 days. So this final tray is going to be amaranth, and that's going to go on top of these, and then those are going to go on top of the other 3 trays we already did. So that's the little tweak. I don't think it's going to change anything. After I unstack them, I will put a blackout dome on them, and they will stay that way for probably 4 days or so. So for a total of about 8 days, and then they will be under light. So that's how I grow my beets. Just going to set this directly on top of the other tray, because that's where it's going anyways. And spread out my amaranth. And do just about 3/4 or so of a tablespoon, maybe a little bit more than that. I've shown this so many times, but I guess it doesn't hurt to keep showing it. The trick, one of the big tricks with amaranth is to spread them out really evenly. Try not to have a whole like pile of them anywhere, and make sure that you don't seed too heavily. It's really tempting to just really load it on, and in my experience, that is going to cause dampen off, almost guaranteed. Perfect. We go set these on the stack. So that's going to do it for this video, everyone. Thanks for following along. I know it's probably repetitive. I've shown a lot of this stuff already, but I really wanted to show those trays. And thanks again, Pepe, for hooking me up with those. That's just super cool of you to do. I know already they're going to do great, because it's not like there's anything different aside from they're being shallower. They're going to do better than my current trays. If you're not a Patreon already, consider becoming one. Really appreciate that, and I try to give back pretty much what I take in. And like this video, subscribe if you're not already, share it if you've got people that'd be interested, and keep watching, and I'll keep making them. Thanks again, guys.